It's Saturday morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm Meteorologist Ryan Hoke with a Hokey video blog update. Man, this is going to be the nicest weekend we've had so far in 2016. Temperatures in the 60s, plenty of sunshine today. Then we roll in some rain and storm chances as we go throughout tomorrow and Tuesday as well. We'll talk about strong storm chances for Tuesday up here in just a second. Today's Hokey weather fact is what you'll start off with here, and you'll notice that radio signals generally travel farther under high-pressure systems. The real reason behind that is because you get what's called an inversion that sets up, especially at night, and that inversion happens at ground level. That's what happens when you get cold air that gets real trapped there at the ground, and then it gets warmer as you go up in the air in height, and that allows those radio signals to bounce around a little bit. You can also get the radio signals bouncing off the ionosphere of the Earth as well during these as well. So if you've ever tuned in on your AM radio to a station at night that you've never heard before, you've never even seen on your dial that's come up, that's probably why. You're probably getting it from another market, another city, and sometimes they travel all the way around the world. My favorite story to tell is back when I was in college at Mississippi State, I used to listen to our news partners at News Radio 840 WHAS on real clear nights there. That was about 450 miles that signal had to travel, all because of this one principle on today's Hokey weather fact. You can tell your friends you learned that today. All right, stupendous Saturday on tap. We've got the Sunday rain moving in mostly at night here. 30 to 35 mile per hour wind gusts, though, before that. They may issue a wind advisory here in the next several hours for Sunday based on this latest forecast here. And then as we go throughout Tuesday, we are tracking the potential for some damaging winds with storms that move through Tuesday night into early Wednesday. Outside now, beautiful sunrise from our Kentucky One Health SkyTrack camera in Bardstown. Temperatures in the 30s. We've actually risen just a few degrees this morning, as expected, as we told you yesterday and last night would happen, based on the latest data that was coming in then, and that's especially what's been happening here. Now, on the Doppler radar and the satellite view combined, not a whole lot going on across wave country. We've got a few of those clouds up to the north and to the west. They're high, thin cirrus clouds. But more importantly, the big push of warm air off to our west is moving on in. Temperatures out to our west already in the mid-40s around St. Louis. We're still in the mid-30s. You better bet that warmer air is going to be moving in here. Mid to upper 40s by 10 o'clock this morning. A few of those high, thin cirrus clouds. Upper 50s by 12:30. You won't need the big jacket if you're heading out to lunch today. Thank goodness. Only a light jacket necessary this afternoon. I bet you the parks will be full. Folks will be out and about. It would be a crime not to get outside today. I know I'm making plans to be outdoors this afternoon. You should too. And by tonight, we're only down into the 50s thanks to the clouds moving in. A couple of these showers may activate up here in our northern counties. This is what's called isentropic upglide that's powering that up. Basically, the warm air is moving up in the atmosphere, so that causes lift that's necessary to trigger a couple of light showers. It's not a big deal as we go throughout Sunday morning, if you notice the time there. By Sunday evening, though, that's when the showers and even some of those thunderstorms move in. All right, 7-day breakdowns, what I'm going to use to kind of illustrate the next few days of weather here. First off, for today, if you're heading out to KFC Yum Center for the Virginia game with U of L, temperatures starting out in the 50s, ending up in the lower 60s. You won't need the big coat to carry around and try to put behind your seat there as you're heading out there today. For Sunday, here's this rain chance I want to show you on Futurecast. Of course, we've got the wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour possible before this. A couple of those showers by 4:30. Then this may be one or more bands of showers. They may be moderate at times moving through, and we may just have a rumble of thunder or two as this happens with some gusty winds, but nothing severe is expected. And this should be out of here by early Monday morning, so don't expect any problems for the Monday morning commute. Whew, that's the good news there. All right, so Monday looking pretty good, a little cooler there. We get this cold front all the way through that's causing, of course, the showers and even a few of those rumbles of thunder Sunday night. 53 for the high temperature on Monday. By Tuesday, we're at 67. We've lowered that down because the front on Monday morning early makes it all the way through, and that makes it a struggle to climb back up to 70 on Monday, so we're going to keep it in the upper 60s. Here's the system, though. Warm front moves through in the morning. By the afternoon and evening, we start to watch to our west because showers and storms break out near Evansville, say around 9, 10 o'clock or so. Confidence meter on this system is at an 8 right now. See how heavy the rain is? We could pick up more than an inch of rain out of this system as it moves through. Now, the severe weather confidence, only at a 5. Overnight data has pushed the timing back on this a little bit on the storms for Tuesday night. So they would hit areas just a little farther west of what was forecast a little earlier, and that's when they should be at the peak heating of the day for any sort of instability. So that's why the maximum area of severe weather has now shifted a little bit west from Paducah down to Jackson, Mississippi, down toward the Hattiesburg area down there as well. And really, outside of that, we've got the potential for gusty winds, heavy rain, lightning, thunder, even an isolated tornado. But at this point, I think this is looking a little less irksome when it comes to the forecast here than it did yesterday. So we'll keep track of this. Instability is crucial. If we get more instability in here, all bets are off, and our severe weather chances go way up because the winds aloft are just that strong. In fact, look at this. This is kind of an explainer as to how this works. The arrows that are moving from south to north, basically at the surface, the ones moving from southwest to northeast, those are the ones that say about 250 millibars, which is about 32,000 feet above our heads. To put this into perspective, this is what we're looking at. This is the raw model data here when it comes to wind shear. Southeasterly winds, 8 miles an hour. This is, again, Wednesday at 1 a.m. But look what's happening up there at 30,000 feet. 150 mile per hour winds. Even at 18,000, we're at 65 miles per hour, and you'll notice how those wind directions change as we go up in height. Some of these thunderstorms may tap into some of those mid-level winds you see there at around 18,000 feet, try to channel those down to the surface. That's why there is a damaging wind threat. But again, it's not huge. It's kind of a pockets of damaging wind wording here, not a widespread damaging wind wording. We'll keep track of it over time here. Wednesday, temperatures fall through most of the day. Flurry or two possible, but the latest model data has kind of gone less aggressive with that, so I've bumped us down to 20% on that precipitation chance. We stay pretty chilly for the end of the week. Here's the earliest alert outlook. Now, we have a few chances of snow here. The first one's going to be on February 8th or the 9th, based on what I've seen here. And these two systems, the 8th and the 10th, may kind of merge here. This is murky at this point, all right? We may have a clipper system or two around the 6th as well we'll need to watch. That would be just very light flurries at this point. So those are the two main chances. You know, the clipper kind of early on in the outlook, and then sort of midway through, maybe a system or two that may try to activate in the southern stream. And that would give us the potential for a bigger snow. We are not done with winter yet. We may not be done with the worst of winter yet. That's all I'm going to say about that right now, because you'll see the 20s on the 11th and the 12th. The Euro's not being as aggressive with the cold air moving in. The GFS is. So we kind of have to look under the hood, so to speak, to figure out how this is going to work out. Now, I know not everybody understands what these lines mean, so I'll try to explain them real fast for you here. Basically, anytime this Arctic oscillation goes negative, this line goes below the black line, the white one does, that essentially means that we're going to get the cold air pushing in from the Arctic down into the United States. You'll see through the 3rd, through the 9th of February, that's the longest the model can go out. It is negative, but you'll notice all those members, all those other colors trending positive. We'll see. This is a very razor-thin edge forecast on whether or not the cold air can actually get pushed along here. The latest, of course, GFS that is operational that we've seen this morning, I mean, it still has it moving in here pretty good, but the ensemble's a little less sure on that. Now, the North Atlantic, oscillation forecast, this is basically the tendency for that cold air to get locked in over the eastern U.S. Whenever that's negative, that happens. You'll see it is negative from the 7th to the 9th, which is when we were pinpointing for the potential for that southern stream system. Worth noting there, so that's lending some support to it. And finally, this is a little less important, but it still kind of gives you an idea. The Pacific North American pattern, whenever this is positive, that means there's a ridge out to the west, which consequently means there's a trough out to the east. I mean, it's just kind of basically saying, oh, there's a ridge there. That's really all it is. It's more of an indicator than so much so a forecast tool. And you notice that it's positive there, indicating, again, that a trough may be over the eastern half of the nation. So, with all that said, we could see some changes in the model data here, but for now, this looks pretty good. The long-range data was always indicating that just after the 1st of February, we'd see a return to winter, and that looks to be the case. So don't give up on winter yet, snow lovers. And for those of you who like the warm weather, take advantage of today and tomorrow, please. All right, that's it for today's Hokey video blog. I'll be back here tomorrow morning, starting bright and early at 5 a.m. on Wave 3 News. Thanks for watching.